shocking news. Lady Louise drops major bombshell on Harry and Eugenie leading brutal cut-off inheritance. Lady Louise Windsor is following in Princess Eugenie and Prince Harry's footsteps by pursuing a favourite pastime. Royal fans were no doubt delighted to see photos of the young royal along with her family at an upmarket ski resort this week. Lady Louise took a trip to St Moritz with her parents, the Earl and Countess of Wessex, and her younger brother, James, Viscount Severn. The resort is located in Switzerland's Engadin Valley. Photos appeared to suggest the 18-year-old was skiing confidently. Many members of the royal family are known for their attachment for skiing. Princess Eugenie is certainly near the top of this list. She enjoyed the slopes in Verbier earlier this year in a getaway with her sister, Princess Beatrice, and their mother, the Duchess of York. Beatrice's young daughter, Sienna, and Eugenie's son, August, were also understood to have been on the trip. Few will be surprised if these also turn out to be budding skiers. The pastime is also known to be enjoyed by Prince Harry. Famous photographs show a young Harry, alongside his brother William, making their way up the slopes in 1991. Some reports described how Lady Louise looked as comfortable on the slopes as her parents. Others have speculated who owned the jet which got the family to Switzerland or who paid for their flight. But it has been highlighted these will not have been taxpayer-funded. This is because the trip was a private holiday, not a public event. Their trip came amid news of Prince Andrew's legal settlement in principle with accuser in U.S. civil case Virginia Giuffre. The Earl of Wessex was likely pleased to hit the slopes with his family while questions mounted over the costs of this settlement in principle and relating to Prince Andrew's next steps. Nick Goldston, head of dispute resolution at law firm INS, told it is likely the Queen's second oldest son will now remain firmly off stage. He estimated that the total sum of the settlement will have been multiple millions. The Earl and Countess of Wessex are enjoying a half-term ski holiday with their children, Lady Louise Windsor, 18, and James, Viscount Severn, 14, in the Swiss resort of St Moritz. No doubt it's a bit of a welcome break for Lady Louise, who is in the final year of her A-level studies. The teenager was pictured looking confident on the slopes, wrapped up in a navy jacket and white trousers. Lady Louise will be among the thousands of students to sit her exams this summer, and she will have an important decision to make later this year once she receives her results in August. She could apply to go to university or, like her older royal cousins, she could decide to take a gap year before continuing higher education. Alternatively, she could opt for an internship like her cousin, Princess Beatrice, who gained some work experience at Selfridges in London, or she could decide to start her working career straight away, as she and her younger brother James are unlikely to take on royal duties. In 2020 and 2021, pupils were given their results based on teacher assessments rather than sitting exams in person during the pandemic. In an interview in June 2020, the Countess opened up about Lady Louise's education and future, saying, "She's working hard and will do A-levels. I hope she goes to university. I wouldn't force her, but if she wants to. She's quite clever." Sophie added of her children, "We try to bring them up with the understanding they are very likely to have to work for a living. Hence we made the decision not to use HRH titles. They have them and can decide to use them from 18, but I think it's highly unlikely." Lady Louise also appears to have followed in her family's footsteps with many of her sporting pursuits, including skiing, hockey, and carriage driving, a hobby popularised by her late grandfather, the Duke of Edinburgh. Following Prince Philip's passing in April 2021, she inherited his driving ponies and carriage.